Hey everyone, it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would take the time for those of you who are studying abroad in Germany to talk about how to set up phone service while you're studying abroad, particularly for those who have smartphones and specifically for those who have iPhones. If you've never paid for phone service or you've never set up any kind of phone service or you've never dealt with having to get a prepaid cell phone card or a phone card, it can be a really daunting process. So the first place that you really need to start is research your options for prepaid phone cards and also check out the local options in your host city. Some towns may only support one phone service or the other, and then some cities might have a larger array of options. So it's just good to know what's out there and what is offered locally in your host city. Phone service through a prepaid card is generally temporary and does not require you to actually sign a contract with the phone company. You simply pay as you go and get all the required needs that you need immediately without having to commit to a 2-year contract. However, it is good to check to see if there's a minimum time requirement that you need to be using the service so that you're aware of whether you need to pay a fee to get out of your service or to cancel your service, or if you'll be able to bypass that fee if you end up using the phone service for longer than the minimum required length. The most popular phone services in Germany are definitely Telekom and Vodafone, but that also depends on where you're studying abroad or where you're going to be. There's many other options like O2. I know Aldi, which is a supermarket in Germany. They also offer phone service that is super affordable, but not always that reliable for US phones. So I would start researching for plans within those companies. Make sure that these companies are also located in the place that you're going to be staying or living, and this just makes it easier for setup if you have any issues or questions, or maybe you don't speak a lot of German and you might need help getting through the actual instruction manual. By choosing a phone company that has a local store, it makes it easier so you don't have to go out of your way or go into the city in order to get your questions or your problems sorted. It's also good to think about what is the most important for you. Is it call? Is it text? Is it data? Is it international data? You also need to think about how much you're willing to spend for these services. For me, data was the most important because I would use Google Maps or trying to figure out when the next bus was coming, or using dictionaries or using WhatsApp. I constantly needed data and I needed as much as possible for a relatively good price. So I decided to go with Vodafone, which offered me 2 gigs of data for about €25 per month or until I ran out of data. And that was just enough throughout the month so that I could travel into the city, into Hamburg, or I could just be around the city and use my phone. Just FYI, coming from somebody who has been in a long distance relationship for about 3.5 years now, if you have an iPhone and you need to contact somebody maybe back home in the States and they also have an iPhone to iPhone messaging, so long as the bubble is blue, so when you're using iMessage, is completely free. However, the minute that it turns green, that's when you're starting to get charged for text messages. So after you figured out the local offerings in terms of phone service, you then need to talk to your current provider about your plans to go abroad. If you're interested in keeping your phone number for when you return, talking to your provider is a great way to kind of see what your options are if the option to keep your number is available to you. It's also super important to talk to your provider about your SIM card situation and if it's even possible for you to switch out your SIM card with your provider. And if you own an iPhone and you are currently with a US provider, it's really important to talk to your provider about the process of switching out your SIM card, if you need to get it unlocked, and how to do that. Unlocking iPhones can sometimes take a couple of weeks, so it is really important that you talk to your provider as soon as possible so that you can be prepared by the time you're abroad. It's just really important if you have an iPhone and you want to use it abroad to just go talk to your provider about it. So now you know the local phone companies that are offered in your host city, and you know the process of switching out your SIM card with your phone company. So the next step is physically getting to your host country and then setting up your phone service. With setting up phone service, you may expect to pay a startup fee. I know when I began my service with Vodafone, I ended up paying around €60 for my startup. And I believe when I talked to Telekom, if you're going to get a German phone card and in turn get a German number, you should also expect to charge up your prepaid card in order to get data and to get service every month at the store location of the phone company. I know for the first month or 2 of my time in Germany, I had the app for Vodafone and it worked maybe 1 or 2 times, and then it just completely stopped working after that. So anytime that I wanted to pay my phone bill, I had to physically go up to the store and pay it. My friend who had Telekom, she had to do the same thing. She had to go physically to the store and pay her phone bill every single month or recharge her phone card. Also, when you go to set up your phone, make sure to bring your passport and maybe, you know, a copy of your new address, because that might be something that you need to use. I know I completely forgot my passport. And then once you go through the process and they go through their sales pitch, you will get a phone card. My phone card was the size of a credit card, and then they had built in the SIM card in it, so you just pop the SIM card out, and then on the back it listed the phone number for that SIM card and then a PIN number to activate the SIM card. When you're ready to set up your phone, if you have an iPhone, make sure that your SIM PIN setting is turned on. And I'll leave a link down below so that you can figure out how to do that, because yours might be turned on or it might be turned off. off, and you might need to turn it on or turn it off. It's just really dependent on the SIM card. My SIM card didn't work for the first day or two, and I thought I had wasted my money, but then I didn't realize that I had to physically put in the pin. If your SIM card comes in the prepaid card like it did with mine, make sure that you pop out the right size SIM card, because the way that mine was set up was I think it had 3 different sizes of SIM card so that they could provide service for many different types of phones. When you've popped out the SIM card and you're all ready to go, you've read through all the instructions, now it's time to put the SIM card into your SIM card tray. On the iPhone, there is this little slot. You're going to need a pin or some kind of safety pin to pop through this hole, and once you press a safety pin through the hole, on that tray you'll find the original SIM card for your phone. Make sure to keep that SIM card though, because if you're interested in keeping your phone number with your previous service back home, or if you're just interested in keeping your phone service in general, it might be really important to keep your original SIM card with you. So keep it in a safe place and make sure you know where it is when you return home. And then you're going to take your new SIM card and stick it into the tray, and then go ahead and stick that tray back into your phone. And then you should receive a prompt to enter your PIN number if that is necessary, or you can just follow the instructions in the instructional manuals that are given with your card. Alrighty guys, so that is it for how to set up a temporary phone service for those who are trying to study in Germany or study abroad in Germany. I hope you found this video useful, as I know that a lot of people don't really talk about how to actually do this when studying abroad, and it can be really stressful if you're just doing it for the first time. If you're interested in any other informational videos or how-to videos regarding study abroad, leave a comment down below and I will see if I can make a video on it. But if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit that bell so you can get notifications on when I post a new video. I hope y'all have a beautiful week and an awesome time studying abroad. Bye guys!